We are live, guys, from Cancun, Mexico, an undisclosed location on a Sunday, and it is now 2 p.m. here in Cancun. But I am going to try to make it on Sundays, regular Sundays, like I usually do, at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That's what Cancun is on right now, Eastern Standard Time. So that's the time I'm going to go on Sundays from now on. I'm still not in the place I'd like to go. I have a few still shots here that I want to get going. So let me see if I can call that up and get them ready so I can show you a few still shots that I have here. And we'll open this with just regular program called Photos. And we'll put that up on screen. Mr. Ronney Braun. Can you hear me okay, Ronney? Somebody told me that my last video that I put out about my trip to Cancun here was not very loud. There's something to do with the volume was pretty low. Now, obviously for me, it sounds loud enough, but I finally found a way to calibrate it to make sure of what YouTube is looking for. I'm going to be on Sundays at 12 noon Eastern Time. So I think that's 1 hour, could be 2 hours from what it used to be on Sundays from when I was in Alberta in Medicine Hat there. 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Yes. So what time is it for you right now? It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. I did set it for noon, but the place that I'm staying at, him and I went out for a bite to eat and to pick up some products. So I couldn't make it right at noon. So that's why I'm on at 2 this afternoon. I don't know if you got notified that I was coming on, or you just saw me up there somewhere somehow, and you must have me on a bulletin board or something saying, hey. So it's 1 p.m. your time. Okay, so you're even an hour ahead of or behind me yet. Yeah, it's two here. It's 1 for you. Wow, you must be on like a Central Time. I think there's Eastern, and then there's Central, and then there's Mountain Time, and then Western Time. And then if you're in Nova Scotia, it's the half hour. So cool. Let me just call up a picture anyway that I'm going to try to show here, but I won't show them all. I just have to get it ready. So we'll go to Present, Share Screen, Window, and this window, and then Share, and then bring my thing back to here and make it so that, so that it's not so big at the moment. Diane is in the house. 2 p.m. Eastern Time now for you. While I'm on Eastern Time too, from Cancun here. I will be coming on Sundays though, my regular time at 12 noon Eastern Time from now on Sundays. So wait a minute, let's just see here. Let's pop this up on the screen so I can read it. I can't read what's over on the right-hand side there. I did get a 30-minute warning. It's a warning. And then notification. We are at Central Standard Time here in Wisconsin. Right on. Diane Phoenix. Yes, cool. Very cool indeed. Now, I only have like 6 or 7 still shots here. Some of them are mine, some of them aren't. Again, this one that's on here right now is Sharon's. Sharon's. She keeps sending me some pictures. So I thought, well, that's the idea. I might as well show them. I'm still not in the place where I'm supposed to be for the next 6 months. The first night when I got here, this place wasn't even available, and I had to stay at a hotel, which was I get paid for, so I didn't have to pay anything. And then this place here, I'm going to pay by the day for now until I can find a place. Something happened. The doctor is just, or Andy, who is the owner of the dentistry industry here that I'm at. He's real busy. He's pushing his business like crazy. When I was here 10 years ago, they had one business. Now they got like 4 or 5. He just came back from Canada trying to set up a dentistry office there in Canada, trying to set some up in the US probably there. And so I'm kind of up in the air. All the dentists here in Cancun are staying, or the doctors are staying at one of his hotels. And I don't think he has anything available right now. So he is looking for something. So I can stay in here for as long as I need to until I can come up with a place. This is a private place, but there is a few things that I really don't want. That I like. There is no real bed here. There's a fold-out sofa bed. It's like got buttons in it, so it's really bumpy. I can't sleep on that. When you're getting old like me, you need you need a good soft. Well, not soft, but you need a good place to sleep. So I need to find that, and then would be nice if it was. I don't think I could afford like a 2-bedroom suite. I won't be able to stay in Andy's apartments, so I'm just going to have to rent a place. Won't be as nice as it was when I was in Cancun, or in Playa del Carmen, sorry. But it is what it is, and I'm here. The weather is in the 20s, so we're nice and warm, actually pretty hot. They run the air conditioners all year round, and right now it's November, like I said, and it's still got the air conditioner on to keep it cool because it's hot, which is nice. When I left Medicine Hat, it was minus 24 degrees in the Celsius range. So it still gets much colder than that, but that was pretty cold for November already. Minus 24. And then I got off the plane and it's warm, nice and warm here. So I did fly my drone already in a couple of parks. So I'm going to, and a bit of a golf course area. I'll put that up on a video. My first video that I put up on my Cancun journey was the actual flight getting here, leaving Medicine Hat on a propellered airplane. And then from Calgary to Cancun is a 5.5-hour flight on 737-900. 2 Celsius. Now that's cold. That is cold. Yeah, like I said, when I was in Medicine Hat there, the night I got this, my friend that he's the owner of something called MTM Granite. His name's Arlen. He let me park my van in his shop yard. And that night he says, "Why don't you sleep in the store or in the shop?" 36 Fahrenheit and snow on the ground. 36 Fahrenheit. Yeah, 32 is freezing, right? Yeah, so 32. You're not much above. You're about two above. Oh, that's what it is. 2 above is 36. I take it. Or 2 Celsius is 36. I'm thinking, wow. Yeah. So anyway, the night before I left for Calgary or to come here, it was 24 below. 0 on the Celsius scale. And I parked my vehicle at his shop, took everything out of there that I thought, like, if it freezes, it's not good, like food products, paint and caulking. Okay, so let me just see here. What are you saying? -3 and the Celsius is 27 Fahrenheit. -3. That's what you had last night. Well, the water freezes at that temperature. And it sure feels good here. It's like 22, 23 degrees, 24 degrees outside right now, something like that. So it's nice and warm. I'm in an air-conditioned place. The minute you walk out into the sun, it's just like you're cooking, which I don't mind so much. -3. Marty is nuts about logging, about delogging. Marty. Oh, here we have Vicky Hope Bus. Right on. Hey. Warm friend. Yes. 20, I don't know, 23, 24 degrees outside today. Yesterday it was 30 in the Celsius range. So it is warm here. So where's my pencil and pen? I've got to write this down. Marty is nuts. Marty is nuts. I'm sorry, I don't know or what it is, your first name, if you're willing to share. I like to know who I'm talking to as far as real names. And then if I'm not subscribed to you, this is what I do after the Marty is about digging. Okay, I couldn't see that. On the one side, it looks like a DL instead of a DI. When I look at it over here, I can see the word digging now, yes. But you see here in the green area, it looks like DLGGLN, but it is an I. It's so small I can't hardly see that. Marty is nuts about digging. You must have something to do with the digging channel. Martin, of course. Duh. Martin, how you doing, my friend? If I'm not subscribed to you, I will. Maybe not just today, because what happens is, well, I wrote it down anyway. I can go look for you. Whatever the text is over on the right-hand side of the screen, I don't get to see that when I play it back. It doesn't come on until a day later or something. Then I can see who said what. So I can't go back and look and see who's in the house here until a couple days later, or I could type it in and look you up. But if you have content and what have you, I'll be looking for you. Yeah, why am I indoors? I should be outdoors. Next time. Oh, I'm going to be coming on Sundays, my usual day, Sundays at 12 noon Eastern time from now on. I did have it for 12 noon today, but I had something to do, so I made it for 2 o'clock, and it's now 2:15 p.m. Eastern time. So set your clocks for next Sunday at 12 noon Eastern time. That's what I'm going to try to be on from now on. Nova Scotia, and it's 9 there. Oh, you're in a heat wave. Nova Scotia. Excuse me. He'd be running around in the sunshine. Yes. And today I went to at noon, we were unfortunately, my friend his, I don't have an apartment yet. There was something came up and it works funny. And I'm just at a friend's place right now for as long as I could stay here for as long as I want to, but I'm still trying to look for more of a private type place. But the restaurant we were at, well, a lot of places are like outdoors. They had an indoor part, and then the back part was outside with kind of awnings. You could sit outside. It kind of rains a little bit every day, maybe not every day, but it rains. One time I was sitting under an awning waiting for the bus, and all of a sudden this couple and her kid come running over to me and sat down beside me. And I went, why did they come running over and sat beside me like that? And all of a sudden the rain started pouring. So I guess they know when it's going to rain, and then it comes down pretty good, and then it's over again. So it like comes and goes real quick. Yeah, I follow some people on Facebook who are, I don't know where they are, but it's like they said the winter is just coming there now, like just becoming winter. It feels like, I've been here for 3 or 4 days already, and it seems like it's going too fast. It's got to slow down a little bit. I did take my drone out and fly, so my first video that I put up was about my journey here, the airplane ride here and stuff. It's the first time I've been on a 737-900. That's a nice plane, man. That's nice. It's got 2 seats on the outsides and then a row of 3 seats in the center, like 2 aisles. And most of the time I was 737-800, which is just 1 aisle down the center. It seems kind of cramped. This was a big airplane. And I've never been on an airplane that size before. And what impressed me more was the windows. Like, believe it or not, I was at a window seat, and there's no shades to pull down on the windows. What you do is you push this button it's like a pair of sunglasses that when you go out into the light, they get darker, and when you come inside, they lighten up. That's what it did, but it really goes dark. You can hardly see through it. So you push the button a few times, and then it shows that it's the highest darkness it goes, and all of a sudden the window is so dark you can't see through it. And then you push the button again, and it just lightens up. There's no shade, nothing. It's totally amazing. And then who turned the heat off? Yeah, somebody flipped the switch. I have 2 drones now, Martin. 2 of them. One is the DJI Mavic Pro, which I did bring. And my other drone is the little one, the DJI Avata. Let me just show you what it is, what an Avata looks like. That's the Avata there. Just a little drone. This thing is really super fun to fly. Really fun to fly. It flies with this thing. A motion controller instead of, well, yes, you can use just a regular stick controller, but this thing is cool. You pull the trigger when you want to go forward or when you want to fly, when you want to move, otherwise it just hovers. But you're hovering like so. Let me get rid of the words here for the moment. Sorry, guys. So you're hovering like so, and then when you want to go up, you point it up, pull the trigger, and it goes up. And you point it down, pull the trigger, and it just comes down. But it goes up and down more or less like this, like up and down. It doesn't point up and go up or point down and go down. Oh, a little bit, not much. And then when you want to turn left or right, you don't go like this to turn left or right. You actually tip it like this. Turn goes right, goes left. And then it it doesn't, with this controller, you can't do flips and things like you can with a whoop drone. This is called not a whoop drone. It's not a cinematic drone either, but it turns this way like this. And also, which is real cool, with the other controller with the sticks, then you can do flips and all kinds of stuff with it. But what's nice is with the goggles, I can turn on something called head tracking. So with the combination of this thing and head tracking, so I can fly like this, straight forward, pull a trigger, go forward. When I turn my head though, the drone is flying like this. And when I turn my head, the drone goes like this and flies sideways. I can actually make the drone fly backwards, which is very cool. It's a lot of fun to fly compared to the Mavic, which you can't do flips with at all. It barely turns. The camera is just rock solid. This thing's a lot of fun to fly, especially with the goggles. You're flying from within the drone itself, obviously, not like the Mavic where you're watching your phone, your cell phone, or a tablet, which I usually fly with. So let me just see. I've missed some text here. Enjoyed that video. Oh, okay. You must have saw. If I remember correct, you have a drone. You have 2 drones. So I missed that. That's cool. I fly the DJI Mini. Beautiful. DJI makes all beautiful drones. The cameras on them are so beautiful, and they're just rock solid, steady. You have a Mini 3 Pro, beautiful drone. I think DJI owns almost 80% of the industry. So anybody that wants to buy a drone, I usually recommend DJI myself. Yeah, would that be nice? Push button darkening in your house. Now, like I said, on the plane, it was you push the button, light or dark, no shades come down. It just darkens the whole thing. But it's so dark that you can hardly see out of it. Like, it's really dark. I don't know how they do that. Has been on the plane. UVaxed soul has been on the plane. FPV. Yeah, this is I've got some goggles. This is the FPV drone. Now the drone itself has a SIM card in it, so I can take video with that, and it also takes video from within the goggles. So I have 2 sets of videos. Although from the goggles, it has all the digital readout. It tells you your height, your speed, your altitude. It has a little letter H, like going all the way around the edge of the screen. That's the home point. So when you turn towards yourself, you can see the little H, and you follow that right towards the home point. And it also has a crosshair in the center. That's always center of of the screen. And there's a little round dot circle. And where you point that circle is where the drone's going to go. So it only has downward facing sensors, no forward. So if you go forward, you're going to bump into something. No sideways, no backwards. The propellers are downward facing, not up. Beautiful little drone, and solid as a rock. I've crashed into some rocks with this full speed, bang, right into the rocks. And well, now you can, not even a scratch. I mean, more or less, it landed up on the hillside. I had to go up and get it. Sharon, hey, I was just showing some still shots here that you'd sent in. Got to run, my friend, in getting some more bus work done. Right on. Love to see you guys moving into the bus or going on a holiday on. I'm looking forward to that. You have yourself a great great day and the great rest of your week there, Vicky. And we're going to the beach. We're gonna get my feet out into the into the water. Oh snap! Why? Oopsie! I'm late. No, it's 2:25 here in the afternoon Eastern time, and next Sunday I'm going to come on at 12 noon Eastern time, like my regular 12 noon times. So it's 1 or 2 hours different from what I used to be on. So right now it's set your clocks or look at your watch or whatever. It's 2:25 here right now. So, and I was showing these shots here. This is the first one that first one that I got up, that I put up. And let me just see if I can grab this and put this over to the side, and then pop this one up over here. I think there's only 6 or 7 shots. So yeah, you can see the little mouse on the screen there. I might as well show you what I've got here that Sharon sent in and what have you. This is one of my, that was from one of my videos that I put out here about the farm and my van that got busted up. The front end was all dented up. That was an April Fool's joke about 2 years ago. I made a video on that's photoshopped. And I just bumped into that on my computer one day, and I thought, I gotta post that again. I like that video. So I put it at the end of this one here, that I was flying along. Some farmer was cutting the ditch, weeds out of the ditch and stuff. And I just had to repost that. It was so funny. I looked so serious, like my van was. As a matter of fact, I was in Vancouver at the time, and my sister and niece, like, they contacted me and they said, we'll come and pick you up because your van's completely toast. We'll come and pick you up. So I told them, what day is it that came out? It was April 1st. So I was surprised that how many people got fooled by the April 1st April Fool's thing. So, and even now, when I put it up now, I had a few of you said, "Oh, sorry to hear," but I just had to tell you it was an April Fool's joke, even from a couple of years ago. I think I even said in the video that, before it came on, I said it was an April Fool from a couple of years ago, anyway. So this is another one by Sharon. It's probably the same branch that was on the first one. You just got all this moss or stuff hanging on it. And it looks like a park with a walkway or something, I'm thinking. And if this is in like Florida, I can see why the moss is hanging there. We don't have that kind of stuff in Alberta there. We don't have that kind of moss hanging from the trees. I saw a program yesterday, believe it or not. Was it Kansas? People think is the flattest pancake, is flat as a pancake. Kansas? I can't remember what state it was. They said it was the flattest state there is. But actually, the flattest state in all the United States is Florida. I mean, yeah, it's got trees and stuff, but all around, it's the flattest state there is. It's Florida. And I guess being at more or less ocean level, it probably doesn't go too high. So even Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth, is big, right? But if you took the Earth, the whole Earth, and shrunk it down to the size of a bowling ball, or a size of a pool ball, it would be smoother than a pool ball. You wouldn't even feel Mount Everest at all. I mean, you can imagine the size of the Earth, whatever, how many thousands of kilometers across it is, and put it down to the size of a pool ball. When you microscopically look at a pool ball, it has little dents in it, but those dents, those holes, are smaller, or the bumps on it are smaller than Mount Everest. So get that. So even with Mount Everest on the Earth, when you shrink it down, will be smoother than a pool ball. Can you imagine? Only ice hanging from the trees in Alberta. Yeah, no kidding. I had ice hanging from my van. Oh, a golf course. Okay. The probably over here is looks like a green or something over here. It's a little lighter colored green. Yes, I see it now. It looks like a golf course. Let's get on to the next picture. There's not many of them, sorry guys, but Sharon keeps sending them in. I keep posting them. And like I said, if anybody out there wants to share their photos, by all means, my email is in the description below there. Email them to me. Now this one may be from the same place, but I don't see too much grass on the bottom. Maybe it's the same golf course. I'm not too sure. I didn't take the picture, so I don't know where this is. Only ice hanging from the trees in Alberta. Yes. Martin. Yes. Smarty Martin from Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia gets cold there too. Now, I don't know why, let me just go back one photo here. This one here, you sent in like 4 of them of the same tree. Oh, it's the same tree up close? No way, you're kidding me. Oh, and at a different angle. Aha, okay. So I don't know whether you know that you sent four photographs of the same tree, actually from the same position too. So maybe you were thinking, well, did that one go? Did that one go? And what are you saying here? I worked in Grand Prairie one winter. Too cold for me. Grand Prairie, yes, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. If you, I don't think I'm subscribed to you there, Martin. I'm going to check you out, believe it or not. And if I can find you, I'll subscribe. Might as well. It's totally free. Let's carry on with the pictures. Oh, I just took this one here just yesterday, I think. The flowers are all over here. Like, obviously, it's not like, oh, just different angles. Okay, I didn't post those on here, though, because some of them were very close to the same angle, to the very first one we saw there. So these are flowers that are all over the place here. Not just this particular kind. There's all kinds of flowers, like these ones. Purple. Pinkish purple. Now, you see, that's a problem with this little camera that I use. This one here, my Osmo Pocket. Believe it or not, this is so easy to use. Excuse me. Let's put me big here so you can see this for the moment. This Osmo Pocket is so small, and it's got a gimbal already built in, and it's so easy to use. It's that they call it the DJI Osmo Pocket. So you can just put it in your pocket. I carry that around all the time. So it's so easy. It takes still shots and it takes video, but you have to be 20 centimeters away from something. Otherwise it goes out of focus. So you see the next shot coming up here, the next set of flowers, like these right here, are out of focus already. I'm a little too close. So I should take my 35 millimeter camera with me And then I can get close-up shots, macro shots. I like to do macro photography also. Well, I don't know. I guess I told you guys, like, I'm not a professional photographer, but I take pride in my photography. And I used to work for a professional photographer, so that's why I learned how to go get the camera and how to set up lights and how to do this and how to do that, and not necessarily take the photos. Photos are in the eye of the beholder. Like, you take photos the way you like them to be, not the way you think someone else likes them to be. And you'll come up with some beautiful shots. Subbed at one time. I was subbed at one time? Well, see, that I think YouTube, yeah, you'll see the same flowers here as probably you do see in Florida there, Sharon. If you don't go, like, I'm subscribed to probably more than 1,000 people, and some of them I don't go to. Some of them I haven't been to for probably a year or more. Now, if you don't go to them and watch their videos, after so many months, YouTube will unsubscribe them. So and then I never know it. They're just gone. And so when they happen to pop into my lives or make a comment on my videos, then I'll say, that name sounds familiar. I wonder if I'm subscribed. And then you go back and look, and you see, no, I'm not. So, like, here we go, Sleeping Bear, FFG. I wrote Sleeping Bear's name down one time, and I don't know, I think he doesn't like to have his name mentioned, maybe first name. You don't have to say your last name, but I could have written it down. I brought all my books with me. And I do like to call people by their first real name and not Manic Mechanic. I was just looking at one of your videos. Very cool picture. I'll have to go back and show you what I've got here. This is one of my shots. Well, it's the end, so we'll back up. This is one of mine again. I only got a couple here. Hi, Sleepy, I guess it should be Bear. Sleepy Bear, Andy. Andy? Andy? What? Sleeping Bear is a drone guy. Also, love his videos. He actually shows me some things that I would love to fly like that. Like, I just can't. I'm too dyslexic. Sometimes if I was in a panic situation driving a car down the road and somebody said, hard left, like, go left, I would have a problem. I'd have to think about which is my left hand and then turn that way. I can't do it instantaneously. I don't know. Oh, Manic Mechanic is Andy. Sorry, guys. I mean, it will take me 10 times before I get to recognize your name. I do that when I meet people on the street. That they tell me their name, I'll forget it within 2 seconds, and they tell me again, I remember it in about 5 seconds, and then they tell me the 10th time, and it might sink in. So I just apologize right now, but I really do like to know your first name, and sometimes when you come back the next time, I'll forget it. Andy. I used to have a brother who passed away now. He passed away when he was 16 or so. Got killed by a train. Ran in front of a train, not on purpose, but he got killed many, many years ago now. But his name was Bruce, my real brother. And there's one guy in here, one guy that I know so far. Wandering Armchair, I think his channel name is. And His name is Bruce. Andy from Discord. Right on. Yes, I reckon. Yes. Yes. And you see, I keep forgetting to go to Discord on Mondays because I'm not used to that. And I keep forgetting to go. And everybody says, well, don't forget Mondays at 6-ish my time. So it's probably going to be 4 now my time. But I keep forgetting. And it's not because I want to. It's just, that's just what happens. And I don't know how to use Discord. I don't really like Discord at all. I think that's probably why. That's just the way it is. FPV is the best. Takes practice and devote. See, now that's why I can't do FPV. I know you're looking through the goggles, and I know when you turn, especially when it's coming towards you, the drone, it's still, because you're looking out of the drone, it's still left is left, right is right. I know that. But you guys go so fast and between little tiny cracks that I can't keep up with that. I like I said, I panic with this. I panic with my Avata. I got to go, and I can go just super slow, and if I let go of the, well, yeah, you can fly this with the controller, with the sticks, or you fly it with the motion controller, this thing. Oh, a lot of fun. It gets me started into FPV. So more than fun. Oh yeah. Yeah, he'll probably tell you. Sleeping Bear will probably tell you. I don't know, did you mention your name there, Mr. Sleeping Bear? Oh, here he says, I'm a private type. People who troll if known too much information. Well, first name won't hurt. Millions of people have your first name. Oh, I guess, okay, if you type your first name in here, they'll know still. First names are, it's okay. No big deal there, brother. I still call you my brother. I've got lots of brothers and sisters in here. No, Diane is calling me Andy. Takes practice and devotion. Yes, it does. What do I call you? Mr. Bear? Mr. Sleeping Bear? Sleeps with grizzlies. And what kind of drone have you got, Andy? He's on Discord. I'm so far behind in what's going on here. I'm not good at names either, but have known Sharon and Andy for a couple of years. Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, I know you were talking about that there, Mr. Sleeping Bear, my brother. Yeah, you were talking about that a while ago. Man, you know, I do feel for you, like, and even Martin, even Martin says here, crappy deal. Yes, I know. Still sorry to hear about that. Great hobby, teaches you a lot. Yes. Can't take it with you. Material things. Can't take it. Can't take it with you. Material things. Yeah, I know. Actually, I was sort of gifted. I was gifted this drone. This is a $2,000 drone. Makes me humble, feel so humble. But I flew 15. Oh, let's carry on back. This is one of Sharon's photos here. A tree out in the golf course. I'll stick with my Mini 3. Oh yeah, right. I asked you what you had there, Mini 3. Those ones, they don't fly like speed-wise, but that's the whole idea. They're meant to do cinematic videos, and the cameras on those things are. That camera is better than my Mavic Pro camera. It's a beautiful drone, flies nice. I like the Mini 3. I got that bird. Gear for it, getting vacation shots is exploring. Very silent, animals don't notice. Well, that's the thing about this Avata here, is it's pretty loud. Even my Mavic is quieter, but it's not that quiet. Um, and they show up with tear gas called swatting. The SWAT team. Wow. Yeah. No, yeah, no big deal there, Mr. Bear. You do what's right for you, my friend. My brother, just remember, Mr. Sleeping Bear, you have brothers and sisters here who all love you for who you are, not for who, like if some people try to be. I don't know even know how to explain that. We love you for who you are, man. Drive one nuts. Yes. Oops, my computer just keeps going away. This was one of my shots from my last video, latest video, not my last one. And then I have one more for you. This is a Sharon shot. I love this one here with the moss on it. That looks really cool. Really cool indeed. Yeah, you can, whatever name you like is fine. So let's get rid of this. Let's put this back up to big so I can see what's going on. I'll write that down for you there, Mr. Sleeping Bear Johnny. Mr. Johnny. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So all the photos are gone for this time, and like my email is in the description. I keep looking down here at the camera is up here. Sorry, if I look at the camera, I can't see what's going. Well, I'm only watching me anyway. But anyways, we are coming to you live from an undisclosed location in Cancun. I'm not in my permanent place yet. Still looking. Where I was going to stay fell through because Andy, the owner of the dentist office, who is, man, that guy's incredible. He's got 4 or 5 different locations now. And when I first came to them 10 years ago, they had 1 location. Now they've got 5. And his mother is like, sort of gave him the business and said, here, make it what you want of it. And he's doing phenomenal. And I was in Playa del Carmen just in May to get some work done, and 100% lifetime guarantee. I walked out of there paying no money at all. And we had a great thing. Someone got jealous. I think friends just watching and learning from each other. But sides were taken. Oh, I don't go on anybody's side. I'm on your side there, Johnny. It's like you said on your last message to me or something about I'm old and stupid and stay that way. And that's the way it is. I'm definitely old. I'm probably more stupid than you are. But I do have brothers and sisters that care about me, and I know that. And I care for my brothers and sisters. So, and if you're on here and you're not religious, stick with it anyway. I love you just the same, no matter if you like it or not. You're my brother and sister, whether you want me to be or not. So don't run away just because of that. If you are a different religion, don't let me try to sway you. That's not the idea. We're not trying to sway anybody either way. You believe in what you believe, and that's all there is to it. Just know that you're a unique human being, and that someone out there loves you. It's funny when you call, everybody on earth really is your brother or your sister if you believe in where we came from that way. Even my mother, my real mother and father, my flesh and blood mother and father were my brother and sister. So it's meant in a different way. Can we please hit the like and show a little support? Yeah, hey, there's a good idea. Press that thumbs button. I usually know when I go to someone's videos or lives, that's the first thing I do is hit the button, hit the thumb button. I don't comment too much on lives. I just sit in and listen, and then I just pop out when I'm done. If I go to videos, I'll always do the thumbs up though. I may not even comment all the time, although I know I should be, because everybody's trying to get somewhere on YouTube. If you're not monetized, you're trying to get there. And if you are monetized, well, let me be the first one to pat you on the back. And that's fantastic. I'm a long ways from being monetized. I have the required amount of subscribers, which is 1,000 or more. I just don't have the watch hours. I think you need 4,000, and I used to be close, but then I had a lull in there, and I'm so far away. I've got like 2,500 watch hours. It's a long ways from 4,000. Long way. It'll take me a long time to get there, but I'm not plugging away at that on purpose either to try to get to 4,000 hours. If you go back and watch a lot of my lives, you'll see that the reason I started YouTube was not to be monetized. I started YouTube for a place to store my videos because I went across Canada and I started my YouTube as my journey across my life and my journey, and not necessarily so much in the drone things, although the drones took me to places where I couldn't walk to and I couldn't see, like from way up high. I couldn't see things, so that was part of the videos also. But then when I'm sort of static and not moving around too much, then I'm more into the drones. Well, that's the whole idea, is to fear God, not to fear him as to be afraid of him. It's like fear of your father, your real flesh and blood father. He's trying to tell you the right things to do, and that's what you fear. You don't fear him. You don't fear God as in, I'm afraid of you. You fear him as, and Michael Santana is a great one to ask what that means, the fear of God. It's not to be afraid of God. And not what he can do to you. He's showing you how to love your neighbor and how to follow him and to do what's right. Like-minded people. Wish I got that message in high school. When I first started in religion, I kind of, yeah, I feared God and what he's going to do to me if I'm a bad guy. If I sin, you be, uh, you know, you go to hell instead of heaven. And there was times when I thought to myself, well, I'm disappointed in why somebody told me about religion. Now I know about that. Now I'm afraid. And because I am a human being, I am a sinner. And even if you're born again and you try to do good by God, you're always sinning. You can't be perfect like Jesus was. So I unfortunately just, you can't hide from God. And because I'm human, I can't sort of seem to be totally righteous all the time. So, anyways, it is what it is, and I hope one day that when I get to go to the pearly gates, I hope I can talk my way out of the bad things and into the good things. I hope I'm somewhere in the books that can say, you just might make it. 560 watch hours. It's hard to get there. I know. It's just, I don't know, Johnny, are you monetized? Some of you in here that you must be monetized. What's it like to get money from YouTube? No matter how meager it is. Hair is sharp. I got them all cut before I came. And I'm trying to look for, I shave with unfortunately, men have to shave their face. And I'm one of those that have a cup with a brush, and I make a big lather, not the kind of spray in your hand and put on your face, which is too easy. I like to do with a brush and a safety razor. And I went out and got some stuff today, and I got this here, not this. Don't get this stuff if that's the way you shave. I want to be able to take the brush and mix up a nice thick lather myself. This stuff here, you just scoop out, put it on your face, and it's almost clear. You can't. I like to see something on my face which makes the hair stand up on end more, and so you can scrape it off your face. More like women with their legs when they shave their legs. They use the shaving cream or whatever it is to bring the hair up so they can get it off. Well, like I do, I mentioned Michael Santana quite a bit because Michael Santana, to me, was a miracle, believe it or not. He doesn't think he is, but that's why God speaks through him. And when I met him, and somebody asked me just before that, they said, "Have you ever had a miracle or seen a miracle?" And I said, "No." And Michael Santana, to me, was a miracle. And if you hear his life stories, it's simply amazing. But he has a saying that he says, and right on, brother. We're all on the same team here. Ron, not Rin. Oh, I didn't see the Rin part. Ron Darrell has 393 subs and over 12,000 watch hours. That's because he goes on lives all the time. He's got lots of watch hours. It's going to take him a long time to get to subscribers. He's got to learn to put out videos. You'll get more subscribers putting videos out because he's calling back the same people to his lives all the time. He's not gaining anything. The way to gain thing is put out videos. And I think he even said one time he's got to start putting out more videos. then he'll gain subscribers. But it's going to take him a long time. He could have 100,000 watch hours and he'll never make it to monetize. It's because he doesn't have content. I don't want to tell him that because he'll say, oh no, I can make it with live streams. But like I said, everybody that goes to his live streams, he might be 20 people there, but they're always the same ones. And you have to, unfortunately, the saying is, even on your videos, I don't know how you do that, because if I knew everything about YouTube, I would be monetized by now. But the thing is, you want to cater to the people that are not subscribed to you. If I look at my analytics, it shows me that 15 to 20% of the people watching my videos are subscribers, which means 80% of the people watching my videos are non-subscribers. They're not subscribed to me, but they're watching, whether it be 1 second or 2 seconds or the whole thing, whatever their time is, but they're watching. So how do you get them to subscribe to you? That's the thing. I don't know how to make a video to say, oh, I want to subscribe to that guy. It's YouTube is weird. Now you'll have other friends that I know that say that are doing really well, that say, they tell me this is how you do it. No, that's not how you do it. Don't let anyone on YouTube try to tell you how to get better. Don't let me try to tell you either, because that doesn't work for everyone. That works for them, that happened to work for them. It doesn't work for everyone. Like Timmy from Mo Bang for Your Bucks. I think some of you guys know him, Mo Bang for Your Bucks. He has gone up in subscribers and watch time like fast. And every time he comes on my channel and watches me or my videos, he tries to tell me, this is how you do it. You got to have hashtags. You got to do this. You got to do that. Hashtags don't work. It worked for him. And once you get started on that upward slope, by word of mouth, everybody tells everybody else, you got to go watch Timmy, Mo Bang for Your Bucks. And he shot up like crazy. He started out when I was with some other people and we were all less than 1,000, and all of a sudden he went to 4,000. Now he's up to 6,000 subscribers or something. So I don't watch anybody and learn from how they do it, because that won't work for everybody. Might work for some people. And I don't know the magic formula. There is no magic formula. After the wife passed away, sorry to hear that your wife passed. It's always hurts when you lose your best friend. Having something to keep me busy and to make friends around the world. Yes, I know what it's like to lose someone like that. I didn't lose a wife. I was married at one time, lost her to someone else. And like I said, I'm not really trying to get monetized. I'm just trying to, that was the story. I just needed a place to store my videos, was on YouTube. And then someone subscribed and I thought, wow, somebody subscribed to me. Well, why would they want to watch my videos? Like, I'm just a guy that lives in a van, is traveling across Canada. I just needed my hard drive was full all the time. I would put something on there, then I'd have to erase something to get it. And I thought, well, I don't want to erase all my videos from where I'm going. I could put it on a cloud, but that gets full, and then you have to start paying money. And I said, well, YouTube is free. And somebody said, just put it up on YouTube. So I put my videos on YouTube, and before you know it, I had 10 subscribers and then 100, and it took me a long time to get to 1,000, but I'm there. Your dad had the brush? What do you mean brush? A shaving brush? Let me just show you my setup here, just because. This little bowl here is where you mix your lather in, and then this is, believe it or not, like to a man, a beaver brush is kind of like the top of the line thing that you're looking for, beaver hair instead of synthetic, and you put the size of a nut, a big peanut on here. That's all you need, and you just swish it around in here, and it makes lather that just puffs up over the top. Now that's what I want in a shaving cream or a shaving soap. I don't like the shaving soap so much. I like the shaving cream. But that's my setup. So I'm going to go after the live here, and I'm going to go out and see if I can find some. I don't know where to go, so. I don't know how you pray on here. I can have people up on the panel. As a matter of fact, Michael Santana said he'd like to come up on the panel whenever, and we can have kind of a discussion. But I've had some people in my lives that the minute we start talking about God, they left. They left alive, and they said, "You're talking about God, I'm gone." Well, you know what? Like, I don't know who that was, and I don't judge them either, but I don't know what kind of religion I really am. My Bible is the King James Version Bible. Now, if you're whatever, if you're a Buddhist or if you're a Catholic or if you're whatever else, believe in that. Don't let me try to tell you that you should be listening to me. And if you're really strong in your faith, you should be able to go to lives where other people are talking about a different religion and listen. It's not to sway you. It might even make you stronger in your own faith. So that's the whole idea. I don't want to tell people that, oh, hey, you're believing in the wrong thing. You should be believing in what I believe in because I'm right. Well, there is no judgment. Any brother or sister can meet first when getting here. I'm scared, laugh out loud. I'm missing something. I must have missed what was going on to this particular thing right here, what Sleeping Bear is saying here. Sorry, I'm behind in the text, and Diane, the night of Michael's miracle. Now, which miracle? I'm assuming Michael had more than one miracle. Can you give me without telling what it is? I don't know whether he wants to announce what it is, but without mentioning what the miracle was about, can you give me a hint? And I'll give you a hint of what he told me. Of one, well, I know him to know 3 miracles that he's had. And the one miracle that he told me was simply amazing, like simply amazing. Oh, cool. Like, he asked me for help on his videos, and I said, you just got to contact me, Michael, and I'll help you. I love to help. That's what I like. I like to help people. And sometimes they're just maybe too proud to ask for help. Christians, believe it or not, Johnny, are bullied, suppressed. Christians all over the world are being killed in big numbers, and that's actually according to the scripture. Before God will come, or Jesus, before he comes back, Christians will die by the thousands because of the faith. Not easy, but how you know on how you, being a Christian, not easy, but how you know on the right path. That's a good one. How do you know you're on the right path? Is it just something in your mind that your mind is saying, this is right? And you're right? Like when you talk to Michael, after a while, you really begin to understand why you think you're on the right path and why being a Christian is really important to you. Like I said, we don't really want to talk about, how do you talk about faith and stuff on a live stream and yet not push the fact of religion on someone? I don't know how to do that. So if you don't like what I'm saying about religious something, don't go away, don't leave because you're disgusted on what I have to say. Like I said, if you're strong in your faith, and that should make you even stronger, thinking that, hey, Wayne's not right. So just know that most religions on earth are getting together and loving each other. I think that's what matters. And we got to have more of that instead of like wars all the time. Can't pick your family. Right. I'm careful about picking friends. Love God, loving, positive, uplifting people who have a good heart. Like Sharon, for example, has a good heart, has a great heart, beautiful woman. And well, and the rest of you, don't get me wrong, Diane and all of you in here. And I'll tell you when I'm ready to sign off what Michael told me, this little saying, and I love it. And I say it every time I'm on my live. And like I said, whether you like it or not, I love each and every one of yous. You don't have to love me back. I do YouTube, so if I end up in a care home, people will know who I am. Right. And it's on YouTube. And when my time comes, people will know who I was when I was here. You don't do content at all. You have 68 subs. Well, I don't know. I think I'm sub to you. I know I'm sub to a lot of people that really don't want to be sub to, but I just thought, well, it's totally free. It doesn't cost me any money. And even if you're not trying to get anywhere on YouTube, well, that I'm subbed. Like, okay. If I'm not going to grow and be fruitful, I stop wasting my time and put more time into ones that will grow and be fruitful. You're saying things that are in the Bible there, Johnny, whether you know it or not, like the parable of Jesus when he would say planting the seeds. Some of the seeds landed on rocks, some of the seeds landed on thistles, some of the seeds landed in good ground. And that's not meaning the seeds themselves, but those are people. Some of the people are on the rocks. They hear about Jesus and they don't care. They're gone. Some of them are in the thorns. They kind of start and they forget after a while. And the ones that are put on good ground, they take the faith. That's a parable. And that's right in what you're saying right here. If there is a God, you're screwed. Okay, I think there's 4 ways that I look at this, and there's only one way that works out of the 4. So you got to be like that. So let's just say that there is no God. There's really no God. And you don't believe in God at all. So when you die, it's just gone. You're dead. That's it. There is nothing because there is no God. So let's just say the next one is there is no God, but you believe in it. You say there is a God. You die, there is no God, so that's it. You're gone. So the other two is, let's say that there is a God. So there's only two ways. There is a God or there isn't. So if there is a God, and you don't believe in God, you die, you're gone. So that's 3 times out of the 4 so far that you're dead and gone. The last one is the only way. There is a God and you believe in God. That's the only way to get to heaven. Out of the 4 ways that I know of, there's only one way, and the road is very narrow to get to God, to get to heaven. So these other 3, and I'm right here. Well, my belief is there is a God, and I'm kind of, but anyway, there's 4 for me. And I don't want to be screwed. If there is a God, I don't want to be screwed. So that's the thing. If there is no God and you believe in God, you're just going to die, and that's it. You won't know anything. You're just gone to sleep. Right. I don't want to be screwed. Killed a fig tree that was not bearing fruit, weeding in his garden. And that's the thing. Like Jesus, he died on a cross. That's a cruel way to go, although it wasn't the cruelest way, but a cruel way to go. But he gave his blood for each and every one of us to save everyone. All you have to do is believe in him. Yes. Believe me, Sleeping Bear, I struggle with that even now. Like, I had a thing happen to me. I had to go see I still haven't go to see a specialist. I'm supposed to find out whether I have colon cancer or not. It's the leading cause of death in Canada, colon cancer. I haven't gone to the specialist yet. And I was talking to all my brothers and sisters on my live stream, just like you people here, telling me, Wayne, go and have some fun. Go there. I have no insurance. I'm here in Cancun. What happens if I have to do something? I don't want to dwell on that. But I'm thinking God will take care of me. And when my time comes, it comes. I can't help it. But, I hope I don't have that. I don't want that. But I'm 70 years old. I'm getting old. Whenever my time comes, it comes. I'm going to die of something. Time to learn. I was referring to the seeds planted on rocks story, and how God doesn't want you to waste your time. Why would you let seeds that has right? Yeah, you're right. Like the ones that are planted on the rocks, and like, don't waste your time. Another one is when he turned the water to wine in vessels. Now God made vessels to hold the wine. He also made vessels to sit on the shelf for future use. There again, those vessels are people. They're us. which means God made people to follow him, and the disciples and whoever that follow God. I'm one of those ones on the shelf. I can be broken, I can fall off, and I can not go to heaven. And I hated that thought. Why would he do that to me? Why would God make me God made me what I am? And I'm the one that has to struggle with, I'm one of those that are on the shelf, and I could fall off and I could break easily. I want to be the ones that are filled with wine. But it is what it is, and I accept the fact that God made me the way I am. Yeah, kidding. In fertile ground and nourish them. All you got to do is ask to be nourished. That's what it was, a prayer. Michael said he'd pray for me, and I said, I don't know if prayer really works. And he said, let me call. He called me and wanted to talk about how prayer does work. Just try the best person I can treat each other with respect. Yes, absolutely there, Martin. I'm way far behind in the text here again. That's right. There is no judgment, Marty. No judgment at all. If you push me away, there is no judgment. I don't hate you for that. Yeah. Well, somewhere in the Bible, I don't know what verse it is, but it says, like, I know there's God, like Jesus and the Holy Ghost. I know there's like three things, but there's one entity. And from my understanding, Jesus said there is nobody before me, which means Jesus is the Lord. He's God. He created everything. He created Satan. Satan was the most beautiful angel there ever was, or there ever will be. He created him. And how could Satan do that to God? And unfortunately, he's pushing real hard because it's coming near the end. No, I don't think so there, Mr. Sleeping Bear. You got to think of it as, yes, we're all sinners. We're born human beings. We're born into sin. And it's very, very hard for a human to be good all the time. You can't do it. You can't be like Jesus was when he was on earth here. He was the only person on earth that that's right. He wants everyone to go to heaven. Every single one of us. There's room for everybody. That's right. It's not easy to get to heaven. The road is very, very narrow. It's hard to turn the other cheek. It's hard to do those things. Wow, strange. The rest of the live stream was all about religion. Why there and then? The way to get to heaven is to pray to Jesus and tell him you love him and tell him that you know that you're a sinner and you ask for his forgiveness. That's the one way to get to heaven, is to ask for forgiveness and tell him that you know you're a sinner and to help you. Out of 100, how many is few? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, what do you know? We got some stream elements popping up here. Sorry, guys. I'm way far behind in the text. As many repent and accept him. Hey, Michael, here we go, all my brothers and sisters. But I'm listening. That's great. Our kind of little religious group here has been talking about this for the last almost hour. And like I was saying, I'm hoping that if anybody's in here that is not religious or doesn't like it, don't run away. If you don't believe in the kind of in the religion that I do, it doesn't mean that I'm trying to push that on you and turn you away from your faith. That's not the idea. That's not what we're about here. That should actually make you stronger in your faith. You should be open-minded and it doesn't matter whether you believe in what I'm thinking. So they thought they did. But many show up, so they thought they did. Can't be that easy. We are sinners, forgiven our sins, forgotten in his mercy. Right on. I know the gates of hell are large. And all you got to do is think of that every now and again. And, sometimes because I am a sinner, sometimes when you think about, if you can think about at the time that, hey, I'm sinning at this particular moment of something, whatever, that's when I think about it and think to myself, you know what? There is no place I can hide. I can't hide from it. So what the heck am I doing? I think there's a heart, I suppose. Many think in their heart, I suppose. Yes, I get God knows what you're thinking and what's on your mind at all times. Michael Santana is listening in his car while he's driving, and his ear. There's a saying that says something about your ears are burning when they show up, and you were talking about them. We were talking all good. So that's why we are in not to judge others. God sees their heart, and judgment is his alone. Right on. I can do a pop up to try to. You hang on. Are you driving somewhere? You shouldn't be popping up when you're driving. Is that okay? Just my thoughts. Can't get deep. I've been on for an hour and a half, so I don't know how I don't want to. So, sister, please don't think I do. Can get deep and lead the anger, but not that easy. Yes. Then many would get in. Few won't. I don't get angry. uh, we are flesh and blood. We are of the flesh. Yeah, I know you've been listening there. I don't know. I don't know if you can see the screen there, Michael. But yeah, I'm posting all the little what the text that's going on here. His ears are burning. That's a saying. I don't know if everybody has that saying where they're if you pop in and your ears are burning because somebody you've been talking about them. No surrender. Okay, I'll drop you the link there. I don't know how long I'm going to be on, but let's put the link up there. Let's copy the link. Okay, that's the link there. And I haven't done this in such a long time, so I don't even remember how this is going to work. So we'll see. And then pop that on there. Okay, that should. I usually don't. Well, I haven't used StreamYard for a long time because I was using Streamlabs, which is a paid version one, and then it didn't work the way I wanted to, so I had quit and went back to StreamYard, which I don't pay for. So I'm using that at the moment. So all you got to do is click on that link there, Michael, and it should be able to bring you up in the so-called basement. And then I just click on it and it gets to go live. That's been about a year ago. A year ago when okay, Michael is driving. I can see him in his car. We'll add him in here, guys. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
There he is. How you doing there, Michael?
I'm doing well.
Right on, brother.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you good.
Awesome. I love what I'm hearing, and I want to agree with any of questions. Because when you're questioning it, you're searching for something. Whether you agree or not, that's when the door's open. And our God is so lovingly that He wants us to listen and to open up and just hear. I can't read the chat, so if there's any questions for me, please ask. And Wayne, if you can answer for me or ask me, please.
Yeah, I'll do that, Michael. Everybody just saying hello.
Tennessee, and so I'm driving back to my house in Chattanooga.
So yeah, if anybody's out there in the chat window there that wants to say anything to Michael or ask questions, just go right ahead. I'll read them out to Michael if you have any.
I would love this to be a Q&A about God and not about me personally. I mean, I'm open to personal questions. I'm an open book. But I would really like to have it about the Lord And I've seen some of the chat as I'm driving, trying to concentrate on driving, but there's some questions about, that it's not easy. I don't like to call my belief a religion. Religion, and it says in the word, religion is doctrine. And I call it Christianity, and the only thing that makes me a Christian is I've done one simple thing, and that is to ask the Lord to be my Savior, that I am, first and foremost, I am a sinner, and I will continue to be a sinner. I know a lot of people say, or it's written that, we are to be God-like. And that's not being Christ. Christ was the only perfect man that ever walked this earth. And he was the perfect being, because we had to have a perfect being to die on that cross for my sins that can bear all sins. I will continue to be a sinful man because I live in a sinful world, because Satan is the prince of this earth. Even though God built and made this earth, he had to send a part of him. Wayne, you alluded to Father God, Father, it's God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. That's the triune. It's all one. So God actually himself had to be part of himself had to come to this earth and to die and to be crucified, and his blood shed on this earth for me to be able to be forgiven of those sins. And I had to surrender my ways and not follow the earthly ways, and to seek him. And I don't do it perfect, I don't do it perfectly, but that's why he's a loving and forgiving God, that his mercy will lay on me, and he will allow me the opportunity to keep searching and show me the way he wants me to live. And again, I'm not going to do it perfect every time. And that's the great thing about God's love and mercy for me, because he knows that I'm not going to live perfectly. He knows that I'm not going to follow his ways all the time. But he still loves me in spite of. There's been a couple of times where he's allowed me to call on him. I heard you talking about the miracles, Wayne, and the first time I was brought up in a church, but this church always had me being fearful of God. They never taught me a loving God. And so I thought, well, I'm doomed to hell anyway, so why not go out with a bang? So I started drinking very heavily. And it came to a point where all my friends left me, family too got fed up with my shenanigans of me being drunk all the time. I was a functional alcoholic. And what I mean by that is I continued to carry a job. My biggest thing was I had a very successful business. And in that successful business, I made some really awesome money. And because of that, my ego, my better than, all this stuff started taking over my life. And I would, so I continued to do my thing. I ended up, everybody, pretty much took me out of their lives. I'm sitting on my houseboat, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I had purchased a pistol one evening or one morning, and we're sitting there target practicing and, just having a grand time. Now, this pistol was brand new, and it came across me saying, you could end everything that you're feeling right now, because I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I took this brand new pistol, put it in my mouth, pulled the trigger, and it misfired. And I thought to myself, man, I can't even do that right. So at that point, out of being desperate, I didn't want to live the way I was living. And I remember it like it was yesterday, that I said a prayer, and I said, and these were my words, I said, devil, if you're real and you get me out of this mess, I will serve you the rest of my life. And then a split second later, this loving feeling came over me. And it was a whisper with authority. And it was God. And I said, God, if you're real and you get me out of this, I will serve you the rest of my life. And it was not within a week. I was in a treatment center because my alcohol level was so high. If I'd have quit on my own, I would have went through DTs, because I tried quitting on my own, and I did DTs and just the whole works of a drunk. So most people, when they go into treatment or go to detox and stuff like that, they're in about 7 to 10 days to get stable. It took me 15 days because my alcohol level was so high. But I ended up staying there for about 3 months, maybe 4 months, and started getting my life back together, because I was afraid to leave there, because I knew if I did, I would surely die. And at this point, I didn't want to die no more, because I had found hope. The only part that I had to play in that miracle of what God did for me was I just surrendered my ways and accepted Him. At that time, I didn't accept Him of what He could do for me. I just had a hope that He could help me. And with that hope, He started doing His works. And when He done His works, that hope ended up turning into faith. And that faith has grown to the man I am today. And there's been numerous of things that's happened, even though I accepted Christ then. Actually, I didn't even accept Christ then. I just accepted God was real. And through that, because I had a big tussle with God. I was like, God, it tells me to accept your son. It tells me to accept you. When my earthly father and mother abandoned me when I was 5 years old, and I ended up in a orphanage. So how am I supposed to trust somebody that I don't see, only hear about. And I'm like, how am I to trust you and believe in you when the people that's supposed to love me and care for me has abandoned me? And through all of this, he not only has he loved me, but he has blessed me with accepting my real father here on earth, because I had to have a relationship with my real father, because it was blocking between me and God, because I so much wanted more of this God that I now was introduced to. And he talks to me through his word. That's where I find what he wants for me. And through the word, through the Bible, it's a love letter from him. And then I get in there and I start reading, and I'm like, well, some of this stuff is pretty, he's allowed people to get killed. He's allowed war. He's allowed the impossible to be possible with flood and killing the world. All these things. That comes as I get in the Word and I start reading. The key thing is for me is accepting Jesus Christ as my Savior, and accepting this part of it is to allow Jesus to guide my life, and to believe in that he did come and got crucified for my sins. And it was it simple? No. Being a Christian today is one of the hardest things I do. And it's not that it's hard to do what I do, it's because of the world around me are doing these one thing, and I so much want to be a part of all the stuff what the world offers me, and I can't what's the word I'm looking for? I can't accept the world's way, because God is telling me there's another way. I don't know if that made any sense. I'm trying to make as much sense as I can out of it. But, those who do not believe, or those who are at the point of wanting to believe something other than themselves, there's a simple prayer that we all can say, and that is, our Father in heaven, I so much want to believe that you sent your Son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for my sins. We don't understand the whole works of it. We don't understand the whole idea behind it. But I do want to accept that your Son, Jesus Christ, did come and died for my sins. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. If you said
Amen.
that prayer with me, and you believe just an inkling of that, your name is written in the Lamb's book. You will enter into heaven. It is a narrow way, because there's billions of people on this earth, and not everybody believes any part of that. And that's why it says it is a narrow path, that not everybody is going to follow that. The next thing I want to say is, if you did pray that with me, and there is a way to find out more and more about this loving God that's not sitting on the throne throwing darts at us and throwing, sitting there marked down, oh, you did this, you did this, you did this. I've done some rotten stuff in this world that I live in up until I was saved. And even then, I still do some rotten things, in other man's eyes. But I do know this, that I am forgiving, because as I'm reading, as I'm listening to God and the Lord, is He convicts my heart to know, and Michael, that wasn't cool what you done. I still love you, but it's like a father loving his son. We want to do our best in correcting them as they're coming up. And there are those tussles. But He loves us enough where He will allow us to make those mistakes, and without disowning us, He will allow us to still be saved and still be loved by Him. So I just wanted to say that portion of it. And now I will listen.
Okay. Hey, Michael.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to, in about 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to end this live. But I just wanted to thank you for coming on anyway. That was cool. Everybody was listening, let me tell you. And there is a saying that you told me, and I hope I have your permission. I can say that, and I do on every live. And I just wanted to tell each and every one of you, Michael knows what it is, and I think there's several in here that know that if nobody has told you they loved you today, let me be the first. I do love each and every one of you very much as my brother and sister. Thank you. You did a good job there, Michael. I appreciate what you said. I'm thinking I learned something there already. And I told everybody at the beginning I'm going to come on Sundays at 12 noon Eastern time because of Mexico. And anybody that comes in next time, we can drop a link again and we can talk and discuss whatever. If you don't show up, you don't show up. But if you do, you're more than welcome again. And we had a great talk today. Everybody was asking questions earlier, before you came on. And I thought I sounded a little bit like a preacher myself, but I don't know everything. So
you did a great job, Dwayne. You did a great job. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I just said I hope I said the right things and not directed somebody in the wrong way.
No, the truth is the truth. Whenever the light gets shine on darkness, darkness has to flee. So the truth is the truth. It's the light. It brightens up things. I would love to, at another time, is to do a follow-up with this and do a true Q&A. I know I went on about it. I was just compelled to, let people know that the way to be saved.
Right.
But I would
somebody, maybe you can, before we close here, maybe you can somebody said something about the fear of God. And I thought, well, Michael knows that. He told me. So maybe if you could just mention what the fear of God is, not being afraid of God, but what the fear of God means. Can you tell me that?
Absolutely. So the fear of God, when it's written in the word, the fear of God, when they did the translations from the Hebrew language into what now it's been into English language, or even when it went from the Hebrew language into the Latin language, they didn't have a word for this meaning right here, and that is to stand in awe of how God works, of his mercy, of his glory, of his love, that he's so loving that he did give us part of himself to come here to die for me. So there wasn't a translation of that feeling, that love that he shows. So to fear God is to stand in awe of the way he works. And so many people take it like, I fear God because he's going to strike me dead for doing this. I fear him because of this. And it's not like your father or your mother is sitting there and you've done something bad and you fear going home because you know you're going to get your butt whooped, or you're going to be grounded, or whatever. That's not the fear that is being spoken here. That fear is the omnipotency of this loving God that's so gracious, that loves me in spite of me, and the way he works.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But it was a translation issue. It was how they translated that wondrous, loving God. There wasn't a word that they could translate to comfort all that wonderful stuff he is. So they took the word fear and used it that way. And so many people get it wrong, and so many religions use that as a oppressing tool. They use it to oppress people. You better do this way, or you're going to burn in hell. You better do this. And this guy in front of me, I don't know what's going on with him. He's all over the road.
All right. So anyway, Michael and everybody else in the room here, Cher and all you guys, it feels like I'm cutting it short, but I've been on for a couple hours and I got some shopping to do here yet. And I do have nice weather. It's nice and warm here. So I got to get out and buy a few things. So I'm going to end the stream, and hopefully we'll see you all next Sunday.
Wayne, can I just say one more thing, please?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, thank you for allowing me to come up. I would, if you don't mind, like to close out with a small prayer. And people can, well, let me just lead out with a prayer. Lord, I just come to you, and I just want to praise you for allowing me to be a vessel for those who are wanting to know anything about you, or edifying more of who you are, Lord. Please be with all of us in our travels and where we are. Thank you for accepting me for where I am today, and still, in spite of self, that you still love me. Lord, I just want to pray for those who are still wondering about this God thing and your love, and allow me to be a part of bringing them into fold. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it. Next Sunday, Andy says he wants to come up on the panel too. So yeah, we might have a few people up on the panel next week. Things are looking much better.
Yeah.
And everybody on here is saying amen, and thank you, Michael, for coming up, and thanks for the devotion you had there. That was great. They loved it. Thank you.
Nice. Well,
Right.
it's God's work and not Michael's work.
I know. Yes, we know that. God's working through you, man.
I accept that part of it.
Yes, yes.
All right. Be blessed, and I love each and every one of you. If nobody's told you they love you today, let me be the second one that tells you I love you, and have a wonderful and a blessed day. And God bless.
Right on.
Thank you, Wayne.
All right. Talk to you all next week.
Sounds wonderful.